If you're sitting inside of a jail or a prison, there's a good chance you're thinking about how you will earn a living when you come home. And that is a good question to meditate on and reflect on. My name is Michael Santos, and I was in prison for 26 years. What made a huge difference in my journey coming home was I was always thinking about how am I going to earn a living? It would be great if we could change the world and make it so that people did not have some level of prejudice against formerly incarcerated people, but that's just not the way the world exists. So one of our missions at Prison Professors is not only helping you use your time in ways that will lead to more success upon release, it's also getting you to think about what our opportunities really exist. Because if you understand those opportunities, then you could say, okay, now I understand what books do I need to read? What skills do I need to develop? And today what I'd like to share with you is an article that I read that I think may be very appealing to people in jail or prison, and that's how to build an income stream around social media. But since you're in prison, you probably don't know even how to do that. So I'm going to switch to our little influence here, where our little ability here to change the way that you can learn, because you don't have access to the internet in there. So I found this article that I thought would be very helpful to you: how to become an influencer on TikTok or Instagram. Well, since you don't have access to online information, you can't really follow that along. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. I hope that you will follow along with me and learn just as I learned. This is how I had to start building my career when I came home from prison. So what am I looking at here? So it says here, it is easy to think about taking a cool photo to post on Instagram or recording a fun dance for TikTok will make you famous overnight. The reality, though, is that becoming an influencer is less about finding a trend to follow and more about consistent and strategic planning to build a brand from scratch. Many people don't fully understand the behind-the-scenes work that goes into becoming a full-time influencer. Although this career path might seem like a risky, maybe mysterious lifestyle to many, there are several concrete steps you can take that could turn your passion into your full-time job. Like all entrepreneurs, successful influencers always start their career with the idea of what they are passionate about and what content best fits their talents. Talia Lichtenstein and Audrey Trullinger both know they wanted to enter the entertainment space, specifically in comedy or late-night television. So they used social media to create funny videos that allowed them to showcase their talents and work toward their future goals. Lichtenstein, who now has 1.1 million followers on TikTok, is known for her Stuff That I Hate lists and her generally satirical content. And that's her picture there. It all started with a Things I Hate persona, and that has evolved. But this character is still at the core of everything I am posting, Lichtenstein explained. The people who follow me are mostly there for that, and I know that. You have to be consistent of why people like you and why they follow you, and then keep creating the content that they followed you for. Her 1-minute rants, like the one below, are jam-packed with things Lichtenstein hates. Everything from boys in YouTube stocks to red nail polish, and everyone includes a telltale disclaimer that you can disagree with her opinions, but you cannot change her mind. She'll tell you straight that she likes to fight if you disagree, and so bring it. Trullinger learned that her comedic passions on her TikTok account and has garnered 1.4 million followers who love her point of view videos, sketches, and story times. Trullinger's dance content first went viral on TikTok, but she came to the conclusion that she could use the platform for content that she was more passionate about. I really love to make people laugh, so I decided if I am gaining the following, I should try to make the kind of content I wanted to make when I was younger, Trullinger said. So I would say my TikTok is mainly geared toward readable content and comedy sketches with a little bit of fashion and lifestyle sprinkled in. There are my YouTube and Instagram and mostly famous fashion and lifestyle. In the 1-minute video below, she hilariously impersonates a sales associate at Lululemon. Hey girl, welcome to Lulu. Let me know if I can help you find anything. Oh, those leggings you're looking at, I love those. I wear them to my 5 a.m. yoga class. Yes, they're really great. You should get them. Oh yeah, they're $148. I know, haha, but they're worth it. I have like 5 pairs. So she's making these satirical videos. She's accumulating a following, and from that, she's generating revenues. For some influencers, developing a brand starts with 1 or 2 viral videos that let them know what their niche is and what content they should focus on. That was the case for Claire Lisa Grove, an influencer from Texas known for her sorority advice videos that have brought her 944,000 TikTok followers. After going through sorority recruitment at UT Austin, Grove saw how difficult the process could be and took to social media to share the guidance that helped her find her home in sorority life. I would do sorority recruitment videos, and those would get tons of video views. And I was like, okay, this is something that people are responding to, something that younger girls want to know a lot about. So then I started making a lot more videos about that, pretty much answering any question I could while still being in the chapter. So she's showing how she's making these videos. Look, these are, let me just go back to my other screen here. These are stories of people that are building a brand and a career around their personal experiences. And it's something that everybody in prison could be thinking about. Why couldn't you create a brand that's talking about how you work to overcome struggle, how you dealt with substance abuse and overcame it, how you dealt with homelessness perhaps and overcame it, how you left a gang, right? Imagine all the businesses that can follow from creating this social media strategy and then creating responses or perhaps answering questions or solving problems that hundreds of thousands or potentially millions of people have. That's really what I tried to do when I came out of prison, is show people the strategies that I used to overcome my background of making really bad decisions when I was 20, the types of bad decisions that led to a 45-year prison sentence. My area has been bringing content into jails and prisons, but other people have taken a different approach. For example, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen right here. I won't continue, maybe you want me to continue reading this article, but I'm going to show you some people who've come out of prison and have done exactly that. They've built massive channels on a popular level and built massive followings, and I've interviewed some of them. So in this 1-minute video, Grieve goes through the top reasons you might not get into a sorority, including a low GPA and inappropriate posts on social media like underage drinking or smoking. Okay, and then she goes on. She was able to stumble upon her audience by creating content that was important to her and her experiences, and continued to let this guide her as she looks to grow her account. So to get started, you need to figure out what type of content you want to post. Is it fashion, things I hate, advice, reaction videos? Remember, you don't have to stick with one. Try different things and see what you like and what your followers like. What makes these influencers so successful? Well, Jay Baer, an author, influencer, and founder of marketing advisory firm Convince and Then Convert, described that there are strategies that work for successful TikTok influencers. The first strategy is to create an emotion on the part of the viewer. According to Baer, these are the 5 emotions that unlock growth on TikTok. 1, be happy. 2, be sad. 3, bring laughter. 4, bring anger. 5, bring inspiration. See, basically, it looks like you can get any kind of emotion. But if you can find your audience, you can build an entire business around this strategy of building a social media campaigns and social media presence. The second strategy is to create perceived intimacy. Baer says that this is when the audience feels that they are part of the life of the account creator. This is why you see a lot more raw production on TikTok versus Instagram or YouTube. It just feels more real. The third and last strategy is usefulness. Baer explained that many of the best accounts on TikTok are similar to the best on YouTube, and that they just answer questions that people have difficulty finding answers to otherwise. Baer answered the accounts of the previously mentioned influencers and determined their particular success equations. Talia Lickstein, for example, has seen success because she is able to ignite an emotion, anger, while creating a feeling of intimacy with her audience. While Audrey Trillinger's content also brings out an emotion, laughter, and allows her to build intimacy with her followers. Claire Lisa Grieve relies less on emotions while using a combination of intimacy and usefulness to attract followers. When figuring out what content you are going to create, take some time to derive your particular success or equation and how you plan to employ it. How will emotions, intimacy, and usefulness come together to form your brand? Just do it. One of the scariest steps is that the first post when you actually put your content out there for people to see. Anyone who is interested in the idea of entertaining, you need to just do it, Lichtenstein says. You have a camera in your hands now. You have the editing software right there. What is easy is to let the fear of being judged by your peers stop you from posting the piece of advice repeated by every influencer was to just get started and push through the fear. You might deal with a little bit of adversity from the people around you, thinking that you're never going to actually become an influencer, Trullinger said. Everyone has encountered the haters online, even when you are just posting a comment on someone else's TikTok or Instagram post. But you should be prepared that when you are a public figure, you will get a lot more feedback, both positive and negative. People will always knock you down, and you will always have to keep it going if it's something you really want to do, Trullinger said. Try to block out the people that are unkind because it's usually rooted in jealousy, plain and simple. They wish they had the courage to do that. Who doesn't want to make videos for a living? How to build your following. As most of us know, having a natural talent for something does not automatically translate into gaining a following or becoming famous. The key to a successful post is creating content that is based on feedback from your audience, said Sam O'Brien, Chief Marketing Officer at Affize, a company that specializes in using trackers and analytics to simplify partnerships between creators and brands. That will not only help you gain more followers, but increase the engagement on your posts. Hang out in the forums, O'Brien advised. When people are chatting with you in the comments, take the time to actually respond. That increases the engagement, so you'll get more people following you and more people appreciating you as a person. This means that staying on the app and interacting with anyone commenting on your content will help you build stronger relationships with people who already follow you and extend the reach to your post to help you gain more followers. Trullinger was able to build a base of followers by listening to feedback from viewers. Her followers make it clear which videos resonate with them by commenting, "More of this, please," or even, "I need you to be my best friend," on the TikTok they think are funny. She takes that feedback and works to give the people what they want. Lichtenstein also posts content with her opinions about things she dislikes. So she'll get everything from people who find her hilarious to those who disagree. Some videos have comments like "main character energy" or "I need this kind of attitude in my life," which others can be more negative. She often responds to negative comments with TikTok that poke fun of the way commenters did not understand her jokes, and this only adds to her content and her relationship with her followers. By responding and interacting with a variety of viewers and comments, influencers are able to build a community and refine their content to what is doing well with the audience. Once you have one or two posts that gain traction, it is more important than ever to sustain intimacy with your followers by letting them into your life and making them feel more like they really know you. If you're looking at some of the most successful influencers, one of the things that they have in common is that they let their audience in. They are not afraid to be vulnerable. They are not afraid to show their audience bias and pieces of their life, said Baer. You turn your audience into a community by taking your audience, making them feel more like they are a part of your success. It is also important to remember that depending on which app you are primarily using, there are different apps to use the app's algorithm to your advantage and increase your reach. According to Shopify.com, here are some of the best ways to grow your following on Instagram. Number 1, post Reels regularly. Instagram has been promoting Reels as a newer feature on the app and is more likely to show your posts if you create high quality and reliable content. That is a great way to end up on the Explore page of potential followers. 2, cross-promote content. If you use any other social media platform such as TikTok or YouTube, you can gain more engagement with your posts by posting them on all of your accounts. This helps you get noticed by a larger variety of people and increase your following. Use the right hashtags. Using popular hashtags makes it easier for people searching for specific content to find your posts and your account. It is important that instead of using a lot of hashtags, that you make specific choices that help promote your content to your target demographic. 4, use geotags to boost local discovery. Tagging your location helps new followers to discover your posts when traveling in that area. 5, organize your stories into highlights. Highlights provide a quick way for followers to gain more insight into the type of content you post and helps to give a taste of what they might see if they follow you. If you are staying out on TikTok, here are some of the top tips from Shopify.com to gain a larger audience. 1, have a good hook. TikTok promotes videos based on several factors, including whether or not users finish watching your video. To increase the chances of this, get straight to the point of your video within the first 2 to 3 seconds. You want to stop the viewers from skipping to the next video in their queue. 2, lean towards shorter videos, with which video completion rates being a significant factor in your video being promoted. It is much easier to gain viewers with a shorter video than people do not scroll away from. 3, post at the right time in order to increase engagement to your posts. Your schedule. You should post during the hours that your followers are mostly active. Look at your TikTok analytics to better understand the activity of your audience and post when they are most likely to be on the app. 4, use trending sounds. TikTok has a strong focus on audio, so the TikTok algorithm will show your videos to people interacting with posts with that same audio. Using a trending audio means that it is more likely people will be interacting with this audio clip. 5, use keyword-rich captions. Use captions that make it clear what your post is about without becoming too long. This will catch the interest of viewers and make it more likely for them to stop scrolling to watch your video. How do you start making money? That's a good question. Coming up with the idea, the content may seem like the hardest part of the job, but according to the influencers, it is actually what comes after gaining a following that can be the most confusing and tricky to navigate. Once you have a solid base of followers, you are in a position to start making money, and this often comes in the form of brand deals. That happens when an influencer is paid to promote a product or brand on the account. It is the most common way to start making money on social media, but it is not always the most stable income if you do not know how to negotiate a payment that accurately reflects your worth in terms of engagement with your followers. According to Bayer of Convince and Convert, if you are hoping to get noticed by some of your favorite brands, you can optimize your account by focusing on increasing the size of your audience, increasing engagement, and being clear about your topics of interest. Having a short, incomplete bio is a common mistake, as brands will often use these bios in their search for brand ambassadors. Another thing to keep in mind is that while you might find that certain jokes or posts get a good reaction from your followers, it does not mean that this is what brands are looking for. Most brands don't want to be associated with influencers who walk too close to the edge. It is hard because that stuff that's a little edgy actually really succeeds with the audience, but you have to remember that for a corporation to write you a check, they have to be really comfortable with everything you have ever published. Now, consider getting a manager. One piece of advice that all the influencers emphasized was looking for a manager or someone to help you negotiate and understand the contracts you are signing. Lichtstein and Trullinger both worked with managers who negotiate their brand deals and allow them to better understand how transactions with the industry work so that they are paid commensurate to their worth. Trullinger explained that her management company even helps her to edit her videos, giving her more time to focus on creating more content and growing her account. As an influencer, it is up to you to seek out management if you feel that it will help your brand in the long run. Trullinger found that she was struggling to determine the rates she should be charging brands when negotiating deals. That's when she found a management company that best fit her needs. If you want to start monetizing, it is best to get a little bit of guidance. There are people whose whole job is figuring out the rates that you can charge, and they can help you immensely. Without a manager, you face the risk of misreading contracts or underselling yourself to brands, which could hold you back in expanding your business. However, it is important to keep in mind that managers take a cut of every deal. So if you're not at the point where you can afford to give up any of your profit, it may be better to wait until you have reached a higher number of followers and can charge higher rates. Trillinger had around 200,000 followers when she looked into management and found that with their help, she was able to turn the brand into deals into a full-time job, making the partnership worthwhile. However, with the new technology that tracks your analytics, it is becoming even easier to take care of the negotiations on your own. If you do not have the budget to hire a manager, you can look into online data analytics platforms such as Affize. To Brian at Affize, advises creators to look at platforms that will show them their analytics and reach so that they can expand their opportunities without giving up a cut of their income. This will allow them to invest their money into other business ventures and begin building more stable revenue streams. I'd go on the side of the creators should be getting more of their money. Look at a platform where you're able to get recurring revenue from your traffic, O'Brien said, and start selling to people instead of focusing on brand posts. Focus on selling a product, selling a subscription, etc. He acknowledges that brand partnerships and sponsored posts are a good way to begin making money. But solidify a career on social media, it is important to start creating a more solid stream of income and a more developed business model. So you've started making money. Now what? When you start making money from social media, the proceeds can go into savings or be invested back into your brand. One big misconception that many people have is that becoming an influencer is only achievable if you are in a position to take risks without having to fully support yourself financially. While it can be risky or unstable as a profession at times, by getting started while you're still in college or already working a full-time job, you can build your following without taking on that kind of risk that might be true later in life. Grove explained that while she is beginning to make money from brand deals, social media is not her full-time job, and as she prepares for grad school, her income goes into savings to help her in the future. This strategy allows her to continue growing her account without relying on social media for her total income. Trillinger, who has just graduated from college in May and has used her income as an influencer to work toward paying off student loans, rent an apartment in New York, and pay for her day-to-day needs. Here's how she described how she was able to balance supporting herself while starting her new social media career. My parents did take out parent loans, but they were also loans that I have myself. I felt really bad relying on them, so the first 2 years of college, I waitressed at my college bar. That's how I supported myself for that 2 years. Sometimes when you want to start, you can't give up everything. Sometimes you have to start working a 9-to-5 or working a service job and retail job so that you can support yourself while you grow until you have that opportunity to monetize your content, Trillinger said. Gaining a following takes time, and it is important to make sure that you are not relying on your account to be your full-time job until you are making enough money to not only support yourself, but save for your future. Trillinger led to quickly learn how to manage her finances because as an influencer, income can vary month to month, making it difficult to plan and save. I decided to look into credit cards, investing, and high-yield savings accounts, Trillinger said. Every time I get a check, I put 15% of the check away into a high-yield savings account so that if 1 month doesn't do super well, I always have that money to fall back on. Also, since I am technically self-employed, every time I get a check, I put about 25% into a different savings account for my taxes. She recommended that others should also take the time to research the best financial options that works for them if they are serious about building a career on social media. Bear advises that you to be conservative with your spending, even if the money is going toward building your career. No influencer, unless they are at the very top, should ever assume the fact that they were successful means that they will be successful tomorrow, Bear said. Lots of people want to be influencers, and competition will be more fierce tomorrow than today. You need to operate in the influencer business as if it is a short-term business. How to make being an influencer your full-time job. Grove, Lichstein, and Trillinger were all college students when they started their accounts just a couple of years ago and were able to pursue their social media careers full-time straight after graduation by building marketable and sustainable brands focused on their talents. This isn't something that happens to everyone, of course. You might need to do it as a hobby or side hustle at first and also keep a job that pays the bills. The transition from making some money off of social media on the side to making it your full-time job requires extensive research into what career options are available to you and which ones will best resonate with your followers. For some influencers, this means working on podcasts or shows. This was the case for Lichtstein, who explained that signing a contract to work on a podcast often means a more steady and consistent income. It is a little bit scary because it is a little bit inconsistent. You know you can have 1 month where you have 3 brand deals that you post, and the next month you don't get any, she said. I need a consistent flow of money in order to feel comfortable. I know very early on that I would need to leverage my following into an opportunity where I could get consistent pay, and that meant podcasts and, in my case, a Snapchat show. Lichtstein also has been working to grow her reach through a podcast called The Influence by Doing Things Media, a platform that originated as a meme account and is now branching into other forms of content. She also hosts a TikTok show called Just the Tips, creating by Fallen Media, where she gives dating advice. Bear has also supported the idea of looking for revenue streams from carefully chosen ventures that best resonate with your audience. In his experience, while many influencers tend to gravitate toward brand deals, shows, and podcasts, they should also look into podcasts that include public speaking, writing books, creating training courses, or selling their own products. This can often mean a more steady stream of income and helps you tap into different audience demographics. As quickly as possible, you need to bury your revenue streams and create as many as you possibly can, Bear said. If you have 3 streams and create as many as possible, if you have 3, what does that say again? As quickly as possible, you need to bury your revenue streams and create as many as you possibly can, Bear said. If you have 3 ways you are getting into revenue, the most important things you can get to make it 4. Every additional way that sometimes can pay you creates less risk in your business. I'm going to have a follow-up with some of my thoughts on this after this lengthy video. So, anyone can become an influencer. For most of us, the idea of becoming an influencer seems almost unattainable, or a glamorous and exclusive group of people who are able to gain large amounts of followers simply by sharing their lives online. But in reality, most influencers are simply hardworking entrepreneurs looking to use their talent for connecting with people. Lichtstein had doubts at first, but now loves being a constant creator and sees this as an industry that opens the door for anyone to follow their passions and create a lifestyle that is the best fit for them. I graduated college and was looking for a 9-to-5 job in the media realm. Then on the side, I was making these videos because I figured I might as well start practicing. And I thought maybe in 10 years, I'll be able to host videos for someone and get paid for that. It was just a mix of luck and strategy, and I went super viral the summer after I graduated. It took a long time to convince myself and convince my parents that I didn't need to do the conventional thing. It was sort of like I skipped a step, and I had some hesitancy accepting that. It just felt really unconventional, but at the end of the day, I wanted to entertain for a living, and it happened faster than I thought, and in a different medium than I ever expected it to. So if you want to do it, you've got to hustle. You have to be out there creating content as often as you can, engaging with your followers, and figuring out what works. Plus, the more you do, the better you'll get on camera. And you never know where that might lead. So I think that is the end of this particular video. And I want to kind of now turn to what you can expect as a follow-up to this. I want you to be able to see that there are a lot of people who've come out of prison and built really extraordinary careers just sharing their stories about their time in prison. And they do it on many different platforms, including TikTok, including YouTube, including probably Facebook as well. And they do it in many different ways. These guys talked about different revenue streams. So in the follow-up video to this, I'm going to profile some of those people that I've seen who've become really successful. But the more important takeaway for you, if you are in a jail or a prison, is to begin figuring out a response to that question I asked in the beginning. How are you going to make a living? Regardless of how you answer that question, one thing I can promise you is that if you focus on developing better verbal communication skills, better writing skills, better storytelling skills, better critical thinking skills, and a really self-developed insane personal work ethic, you are going to be able to overcome the challenges that afflict so many people who got out of prison. Yesterday, I created a series of videos about a fellow that served 30 years. He earned an undergraduate degree in prison, a master's degree in prison, a PhD in prison. But when he got out of prison, he's had a really hard time finding a way to earn a living. He's done things such as drive taxi cabs and work as a handyman, despite being the author of 3 books. So it's really tough for people who don't invest the time to prepare themselves. If you're a member of our community at Prison Professors, I want you always thinking about how can I use my time today to prepare for success tomorrow. My name is Michael Santos. I'm the founder of Prison Professors, and I would never ask anybody to do anything that I didn't do and that I'm not still doing today. And you can see that by visiting our YouTube channel or our website at Prison Professors. And in the next video on this very subject, I will share others who have done it in different ways from me and how many of them have become even really successful on a really extraordinary level. And I want you to be thinking, why can't that be you as well? So please stick with the Prison Professors program. If you're watching this outside, make sure that you subscribe and like us wherever you're getting your content. Thanks so much. On second thought, before ending the video, I thought since you're in prison, I will show you how I make one of these TikTok videos. And so I'm just going to splice that on to the end of this story right here.
A lot of times people in prison don't know how they're going to build a career when they get out. That's why our team at Prison Professors produces new content every day to help people inside. And today what we spoke about was how to become an influencer after somebody gets out of prison. You see, although somebody is in prison, doesn't have access to the internet, so they can film videos for TikTok or create YouTube videos, what they can do is develop good skills in writing and storytelling and communication, and they could use those skills to go on and build an awesome career when they come home, either creating content for entertainment purposes or potentially content that leads to business opportunities like we do at Prison Professors. That's how I prepared while I was going through 26 years in prison, and it's what I am still doing today. So I wanted to create this video so that people would see, people in prison would see, what does a TikTok video look like? You are now watching a TikTok video of the Prison Professors channel. I'm Michael Santos, and I believe in you.